Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be a little boring slash different depending on how you want to look at it, but it's mostly just going to be a chat with me sort of video while I actually just reorganize my binder. So I'm not sure if you can tell a difference, but these pages on the left are a little more crisp slash firm than these ones on the right, and I'm currently going through my Golden Child collection here. And I decided that I want to make my entire Pentagon collection those stiffer pages. So as I was flipping through my collection yesterday, just appreciating what I had, I noticed that some of my Pentagon pages don't use the Ultra Pro Platinum, which are more expensive sorts of pages that I specifically bought for my Pentagon collection. But I noticed that a lot of my older pages, the ones that I've had for a little longer, the ones that I used to store my Pentagon photo cards a little longer, but they use the older sleeves that I've been using for my collection before I decided to buy the Platinum pages. So I am honestly, this is, I guess, just going to be like a chat with me sort of video while I swap out all of the pages. So I'm not sure how exactly I am going to organize this. This is going to be kind of like a chat with me video. I have to be honest, I don't have too much to say. Well, I guess I can I guess I can do that. So I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I used to have a pretty strict, and I wouldn't say strict, I had a pretty decent filming schedule, filming and releasing videos. So in terms of filming, I used to just bulk film all of my videos in one go if I could. I would try to film at least like 2 or 3 videos at once depending on what I had going on. So usually it would be like open mail with me, and then I would film my storing videos. Or I would film like an unboxing and then storing videos. For the last month, well, it's okay, let's just say it is currently early November. I wasn't able to post anything in most of October and throughout late September because I had run into issues with a lot of my videos. So every time I film a video, I almost immediately delete it from my phone after I import it to an external hard drive. And then once it's in the external hard drive, I edit it into my iMovie and call it a day. So I try to film, edit all in one go, and then usually I just leave it in my external hard drive for a bit before I decide to actually import everything. I do not know why that is my decision or why I decide to break up my videos like that. But what ended up happening, and one of the reasons why I took such a long, kind of like unannounced hiatus, or let's just say unintentional hiatus, is because that external hard drive ended up breaking, which is actually terribly okay, the word would not be traumatic because it wasn't traumatizing, it was just incredibly upsetting. So that external hard drive, in addition to having the bulk of my edited K-pop videos, which included my, I think, September open mail with me, and then some September hauls, and then September storing, all that stuff. Aside from losing out on those videos, that external hard drive also had all of my fan calls. And I was dumb. I didn't back up my fan calls onto like another drive or anything like that. Because in my mind, oh, that external hard drive is going to be my, what I use to back up all of my information. But in reality, that wasn't the case. So I ended up losing all of my fan calls, in addition to losing what is probably like 10-15 years worth of photos and videos from friends, family, vacations, just memories in general, and I cannot even begin to tell you how upsetting that was. So on the surface level, I was mostly annoyed because it was an issue that I could have easily stopped. Like, I knew that the hard drive was reaching its capacity, except I was very egotistical and I'm like, you know what, that is a problem for future me. But I did end up breaking that hard drive, and as of right now, I have not recovered any of the data. So that's, you know, years of concerts and thousands of dollars worth of concerts and fan signs all gone. I did somehow manage to find some non-video recorded fan calls of mine. So in addition to screen recording my fan calls on my computer while I do them, I also use my phone and I film to the side just in case something like this happens, or just in case my screen recording decides to not work. So I do actually have my fan calls. I managed to find some copies of them on my Google Drive, but everything else on that hard drive is gone. And so I touched upon this briefly in my last video, but I didn't go into detail, which is what I'm doing now. But that was an incredibly upsetting thing to realize, especially because I ended up seeing if I could find someone to repair it, and I did find someone who's able to repair it, but the money that they quoted for the repair cost was too much for me to actually afford. So right now I'm currently stuck in between a hard place between wondering whether or not it's worth it to try to pay that amount to see if I can get back, you know, years of memories of friends and family and loved ones, or if I should just take the L and move on and use this as a lesson. My issue with mostly just letting go and taking this as a lesson is because, one, a lot of those memories I can never get back again. You know, they're with friends. Those are photos I've lost with friends who are no longer in my life. And, you know, you're allowed to move on from things, but I, like most collectors, I would assume, am incredibly sentimental. Even if I'm not friends with that person anymore, I would still like to have some sort of memorabilia to remember. Like, I don't like to delete my photos, mostly just because I like to go back and be like, hey, at this time and this age, I was friends with said person. So I do want to get my information back. And when it comes to the K-pop aspect of it, I think about the fact that the amount of money I spent on those K-pop concerts and fan signs, it exceeds the cost of the repair. And so in my mind, I think to myself, okay, damn, like, if I don't pay that money to get that information back, I really am losing all of those memories. Like, those concert videos I did not post anywhere else, and so that money would have actually, like, really have been a waste in my opinion, just because I can't go back and watch them whenever I want to. So that's currently where I'm at. That is a tiny dilemma that I have been waffling back and forth on for a bit. One of the reasons why I actually downsized, so I think this video is going to come out after all those downsizing videos. One of the reasons why I decided to downsize and sell, I don't know, like a sixth of my collection, really not a lot. Okay, let's say like 10%. I sold about 10% of my collection so far. The main reason behind doing that, I would say 70 to 30, and this is going to be the 70% of the reason why I was selling so much of my collection is because I wanted to make up the money to pay for the repairs of my hard drive, and then 30% is because I was just a little too overwhelmed with all of the photo cards that I have. But yeah, there you heard it. I was really panicked and sold part of my collection because I realized, you know, if I really wanted to, I can buy back the collection that I've amassed, but I can't really buy back my memories, which is funny because in this situation I actually can buy back my memories. That's exactly why I'm doing all this. But in a regular situation, like, yeah, I can, you know, I can buy back a collection. So that's why when it comes to going to concerts versus collecting, I would much rather spend my money on a concert compared to collecting merch of an idol, because the price for a collection will always vary. Like, I was collecting Pentagon, or the bulk of my Pentagon collection when purchased was during their more famous eras, I can say. I don't even know if I can fully say that. But there was more of an active community of collectors on Instagram, so the prices were pretty standard. Like, an older era album card would have been like $8, and then an album card from an era that had video call fan signs would have been like $5 or $6. Now, I don't even know what the going prices are, but like, people are not able to sell their Pentagon photo cards because no one's really buying them. Most of the core fandom already has their cards, and because of all of the news recently with the members not renewing, the community has mostly like quieted down. All the long-term collectors already have their stuff, and you know, Pentagon's not really gaining any new fans, so a lot of the merchandise that is on sale is mostly just sitting there. And I guess that's another thing that I can talk about in this video, because this is mostly a chat with me. But sorry, where was I going? Oh yes, in terms of collecting, yeah, personally I would rather spend my money on a concert compared to merchandise, which is what I've been doing kind of recently. There haven't been too many groups going into my area that I'm interested in. I did see enhypen recently. Have to say, wasn't too impressed with them for some reason. I did actually find myself zoning out during parts of the concert, and I'm not a big fan of the way their concert is organized. For some reason, they wasted, in my opinion, and I talked to one of my non-K-pop friends about this, and she was like, you are being, she didn't call me entitled, but let me just finish the story so you can kind of see where she's coming from. But there are moments during their concert where instead of the members talking to us directly or performing or just, I don't know, being engaging artists, they would just do a lot of that call and response. Like, one of the members would go, like, I say hey, you say yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Except they did that for about 10 minutes long, and all of the members who were on stage were doing it, and after a while it just kind of got really boring. Like, there was another part that I didn't like, and I'm not an engine, so I went into the concert completely blind. I went in just knowing their basic discography and wanting to hear Fever and Bite Me live, honestly. And I do like some of their B-sides, but there was also one part where it looks like their fan service was just panning the camera around the crowd and fixing it on someone and watching them dance while the members were on stage. And I'll be honest, y'all, I thought that was so weird and such a waste of time. So that was 10 minutes that they could have used to show another VCR or have them do another song, but no, we're watching a fan perform. Like, why am I spending this money to watch them kind of like barely talk to the crowd and just pick someone to watch them dance and like cheer them on? And then when I told my non-K-pop friend about this, she was like, oh, you're kind of acting as if you just want them to perform at your beck and call. And she was like, oh, you just want them to dance, monkey dance. And I'm like, well, no, but also, yes, I definitely see where she's coming from. But it's like, I don't know, I think I've been very spoiled with the K-pop concerts that I do generally go to. I either do studio PAV concerts, and I try to get the highest tier so I am as close as possible, and then I luckily get good fan service that way, or I do seated concerts at really big venues. This was one of those seated concerts at a really big venue, and I have to say I was not impressed. Even enhypen's music, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like the organization of the set list or whatnot, but it felt very one note. Like, it felt very flat. Like, I do like enhypen's music. I listen to them, which is the main reason why I wanted to go. But the entire time, all I could think was, it was so monotonous. Like, there weren't many highs and lows when it came to their set list. So it almost felt like, I don't know, it was pretty mediocre. I was like, it wasn't a waste of money because I got really cheap tickets last minute, but you know, I wouldn't go see enhypen again, personally. So I'm actually going to do a little quick flip through on this. So I actually ended up moving my 127 collection into an A4 binder because it was starting to outgrow my A5 binder that held CIX and Dream. I'm keeping Dream in the A5 binder because I have some sets of 4 photo cards, and it's not going to look good on an A4 binder page. So I moved a lot of them. I moved my 127 collection into this binder. I'm not too happy by the idea of me separating out Hechan's photo cards because, you know, he's both in Dream and 127, so by separating him out here, I'm not able to see his photo cards for both groups side by side, which is, I mean, I guess it's alright. It's not the end of the world. But I'm going to flip through very briefly to show you what I have for 127. As you can see, a lot of these placeholders are photo cards that I have coming in. They're going to be coming in a Naokyo order that I will be filming. I think that video will come after this because I have to ship out all of those photo cards as well because I did a group order. And yeah, so these use the really nice Ultra Pro pages, but because I am focusing on my Pentagon collection and having those nice pages, I will be swapping them out. Let me see how many pages I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Where was I? What should I talk about next? Oh, let me talk about Pentagon since we're here. I don't think I've gone into detail with Pentagon's contract things. I don't think I filmed any video after all the news came out, but as of today, literally like 12 hours before this video was filmed, we got the news that Hongsuk terminated his contract with Cube as well. And all of my opinions are like fully my own, so you are justified in getting mad at me if you disagree with me for, what is this? Interesting. For any of these opinions, but like, good for him. I don't think it should come as a surprise to any Universe or Pentagon fan that Pentagon was not happy with Cube for the, I would say, last couple of months. Like, their last comeback was in January 2022, and it is October 2023. All they've been doing since then are some one-off festival performances, and then, like, Japanese comebacks, and then half-assed Japanese fan cons. Like, they haven't even had a Korean fan con since probably before COVID, honestly. And there's something about Cube that just makes me think that they're so dumb. Because they sent G-Idol, or Idol, on 2 world tours, and they couldn't even, I don't know, spare Pentagon with one. Like, sir, a spare crumb of world tour. Or even a Korean concert, like anything. Oops. Like, I am not exaggerating when I say that Pentagon really was just kind of wasting away in Cube's dungeons. like, sure, they had the Japanese comebacks, but they don't really promote Japanese comebacks, and like the most you get are like region locked interviews and stuff. So like those aren't even of any worth to an international fan like me. And this is gonna sound bad, but with the Japanese comeback, they don't really do video calls as well, which is another way for them to increase their sales. So of course Cube didn't think that Pentagon was worth investing in, because rabid fans like me weren't mass buying albums for a chance to talk to our faves. And it's like, ugh, like I'm so annoyed with Cube, and just the last couple of months were hard as a Pentagon fan, because like I can't even, I'm trying to get my thoughts in order so I'm not going in circles. And I'm not trying to point fingers on the members themselves, but they had Jinho on Phantom Singer, they had Hongsuk having a mental breakdown in the military and getting discharged early. And then they also had Hui on Boys Planet. And then Hongsuk very recently talked about how when Hui was on Boys Planet, Hongsuk also got very stressed out over that and the future of his group. And the last year has been a mess. Like, one of my favorite tweets from Universe Twitter is, what is it? Instead of dying on the cross, I'm a Pentagon fan. And I'm like, you know what? I hear that. Absolutely. So, like, that's basically where I'm at in terms of being happy that Pentagon is out. Am I a little sad? No. I'm like, weirdly enough, I'm not sad at all. So I'm not sure if that's like a really weird coping mechanism that I've come up with, or just the fact that I have been into K-pop for too long to take a lot of these things personally. But it's true, I have been into K-pop for too long. I probably touched on this very briefly when I talked about SF9's contract renewals, but like, even though Pentagon is my alt group as of right now, K-pop groups come and go. The fact that Pentagon still has a very clear, fond relationship with each other is an amazing sign. And I'm so happy that the members, or most of the members are very active in showing that they're still in contact with everyone else. I don't doubt that Pentagon will have a group comeback in the future. Like, I'm an Infinite fan. If Infinite can pull it off, you know, Infinite is in better social standing than Pentagon is, and Infinite does have a legacy to fall back on. So I'm not too worried. I wasn't worried about Infinite never having a comeback. But in Pentagon's case, I don't doubt that they'll come back and do something. It just depends on how long. And at this point, I'm okay with it. Like, I really can't even begin to describe. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at my photo card pages and I'm trying to decide whether or not I should keep some of my 127 photo cards in these nice sleeves. Yeah, maybe I will. Hold on, let me just... It's whatever. But yeah, I'm not really sad about Pentagon's future. I'm pleased that they've gone this route. It does make me feel nice that they decided to very forcefully maintain the opinion that they are going to stay as Pentagon. Like, it's not like another situation of, oh sorry, I'm going to throw them under the bus, of Victon, where they were disbanded. Some of my friends who are Victon fans tell me, oh, you know, they were forcefully disbanded. But if they were forcefully disbanded, I don't really know too much about Korean, like, IP laws or anything, but couldn't the members have, like, reformulated somehow? and done something together. Like, even a lot of those older second gen groups who've had lots of members leave, they all ended up just still kind of reformulating or still releasing like a comeback sporadically here and there. But the fact that Victon just fully disbanded while Pentagon maintains that they're going to stay as the same group, I would say it bodes pretty well. Like, I really doubt we're going to see them anytime soon. I know Shinwon's kind of been alluding to a comeback while he's in the military, but by that I'm assuming he just means, like, I don't know, maybe a Shinwon, a Jinho and Hui unit. But aside from that, yeah, no new Pentagon music. Not sad about it, it's just the circle of K-pop life. And in case that makes you sound really cold, I don't intend for me to come off that way. It's just I've seen a lot of groups come and go, and sometimes this is like the only way to rationalize it instead of getting too attached to it, if you know what I mean. I really don't know what I want to do with these pages because I don't like them, and I really don't, well, I don't think I'm gonna add to my 127 collection after this, but I do have like 2 extra pages. Oh well, it's fine. Let me just keep going through this. So yeah, that's where I am with Pentagon. I like made a joke that I just skipped through all of the stages of grief and just went straight towards acceptance. And I'm not sure if that makes me come off as cold or incredibly mature. One or the other. I don't think you're wrong in thinking in either direction. But that happened. Pentagon, as we know it, is over. So all I can do now is hope for the best and wish that they're just happy and successful. Of course, like, I am gonna still be a group order manager for them when I can. It's just now that they're like fully separated, I guess I can take a break and be a little more selective about what group orders I open for. I do very clearly have my favorites within Pentagon, so if one of them has a comeback, I might go a little harder when it comes to hosting for fan calls and opening for every pre-order benefit site, stuff like that, compared to other members who I might just open for the sake of everyone getting a copy. But that's where I'm at with Pentagon. I wasn't sleeping well for a bit, honestly, because I was so nervous over their contract renewals. Like, I was literally waking up every morning at 3 a.m. and like checking my phone because I guess I have anxiety. And I don't know. I don't think I do, but it just manifested that way. But now that that's over, it turns out I just have really bad sleeping habits because I'm still waking up at 3 a.m. But the day after the news dropped that the, bottom half of Pentagon was leaving, I did manage to fully sleep throughout the entire night, so that kind of tells you my mental state there. Either way, did I say this video is going to come before or after my Neokyo unboxing? I think this video might come after at this point. Who knows? Either way, I have some Pentagon photo cards coming in, so I'm not giving up on that collection. This is my biggest collection and my happiest one so far. And let's be honest, if I decide to sell this collection, I will be losing out on a lot of money. So I'm not gonna do that to myself just yet. And then that's really all that I had to talk about. I'm sure I wanted to make some more comments about like collecting as a whole, especially because I'm spending a lot of time just reorganizing everything. And like spending my time doing this makes me realize that K-pop collecting is a legit hobby. Like, I am devoting so much time into just moving photo cards from one page to another. Like, that is absolute insanity to me. So, oh, okay, this makes sense. I have a couple other pages that I can swap out. But yeah, I have, I think, 2 Shinwon photo cards coming in the mail, and then that leaves me with 3 Shinwon photo cards and 3 Hongsuk photo cards before I am done with their entire album, their entire Korean album photo card collection. I haven't decided if I'm going to go through and try to buy those photo cards yet. I have been lucky with my trades, like the 2 Shinwon photo cards that I have ideally coming in. They're traded for with a friend from Canada, and I traded my Hui Pado photo card for the 2 Shinwons. And so I hope those come in safely. And then no one's really... Ooh, okay, so I can swap some of these out. Okay, nice. Oh, this is actually perfect. I have enough photo cards to fully swap out everything. Love this for me. What else can I talk about? I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff that I wanted to talk about were going to go in my Neokyo haul. So in terms of videos I have coming up, you know what? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'll post this video before I post everything else. So this video will go out first, and then I'm gonna post that Neokyo haul video, and then I'll post my sort photo cards with me video. As you can see with the NCT binder that I have to the side, I have a lot of NCT coming in, but that is all in my Neokyo haul. And then there, I'm sure I can talk more about stuff. I am going on vacation this weekend, or I'm going on vacation the weekend that this was filmed. This video is probably going to come out sometime in December, maybe? I don't know. I'm trying to slow down on filming these videos. But yeah, I have a vacation coming up and I am really excited. For reals, I kind of want to get away from K-pop a little. As you can imagine, the past couple of months, regardless of how flippant I sound regarding Pentagon and SF9's contract renewals, the past couple of months have been a little stressful. And it's not even fully because of the contract stuff. I have been complaining to a bunch of my friends about the ethics of K-pop standing, and most of that has to stem from my very newfound / intense love for NCT Dream. And I think I can probably get to that in a later video, just in case, because I think I want to get my thoughts together for those just a little more, just before I go off the deep end. But here you can see that I have a lot of Do Jae-jung photo cards coming in, which is funny because like those members are not my favorite for NCT. I would say they're more like middling / least favorite, honestly. But I have this rule. It's not like a hard and fast rule. It's just kind of a rule that I try to stick to, where I say I only can collect an album if I like a certain percentage of the music, where I like the packaging and inclusions, and where I find the songs loopable and I like the members, so I wouldn't mind pulling any particular photo card. But because I ended up buying this album off of Neokyo, where someone had already pre-sorted everything, as you can see, Jungwoo is my favorite. Even though right now I think Jaehyun might be my favorite. I don't know, I had a really weird dream about him while I was sleeping, and now I'm just kind of like, ooh, Jaehyun is kind of my type. But that is neither here nor there. I'm excited for that Neokyo video. It's coming in tomorrow, so I get to unbox it and then send all my joiners their quotes and then send it out. And then wipe my hands of Neokyo for a bit. And then I also have stuff to talk about in regards to Naokyo compared to buying from Western sellers, which I think could be a little interesting. We'll see. Yeah, I do kind of want to fix my 127 binder cover. I had everything in that A5 binder, as you might know, and so I just kind of like shoved all of the decorations in there. I have a kind of destroyed / falling apart Neozone album, so I might use that to decorate a binder cover. But my indecisive ass is also thinking of downsizing my 127 collection pretty decently. Like, I have a good bulk of their discography at this point. Like, I think I have more of their discography than I do have SF9, and like SF9 is my old group. So I'm not feeling guilty over that, but I'm also just kind of like, bro, what are you doing? But back to my comments about 127. I have, I think, 6 full pages of 127 stuff, including Dojejong. So that is, what did I say, 6 pages? That is 54 photo cards. I don't like all of the members of 127 like that. So before I was talking about my brief criteria when I said, oh, I can only collect a group if I don't mind pulling any member for their photo cards. That's not the case for 127. Like, I do have my clear favorites, and there are members that I either dislike or ignore completely. So I think because of that, I don't feel fully comfortable having as many of their albums as I do. And that's just like a me thing. Like, I have a lot of friends who collect albums without any sort of discrimination between whether or not they like the group or not. Like, I have one friend who really just buys albums according to whether or not they like the music. They don't know any of the members' names, they don't follow any variety, they just buy it if they like the songs. And I wish I had that energy, but I do not. So because of that, I think I'm going to go through my 127 collection and start to thin it down a little. They do have really good music, which is why I'm happy to have as much of their collection as I do have, but I think 50 photo cards is a lot. Unfortunately, I don't know what I'm going to downsize yet, because I do have a lot of Johnny and Taeil, and I know that those really aren't going to sell because, you know, member pricing and popularity and all that. But I also don't want to give up my Haechan photo cards, which I know will sell. So maybe I should just try to sell in a bundle, honestly, and just be like, you know what, take all of these from me. I'm just going to focus on Dream, even though 127 has my preferred music. I don't know, I really am just rambling for the sake of being able to talk about this. But, okay, so let's see my Pentagon collection. So throughout this entire video, I have been swapping out these flimsier sorts of photo card pages compared to these ones that you can tell are significantly stiffer and have less give. After swapping all of them out, I just kind of wanted my Pentagon collection to have more of a cohesive feel, and this does actually feel a little more expensive, and I kind of like that luxuriousness, honestly. My collection to me is perfect right now because I don't have any empty spots in here, but because I have, I think, 4 photo cards coming in, I'm gonna have to start breaking up my Shinwon and Hongseok collection, and I will have these extra Yenans down here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those yet. Probably not downsize them, because I think just objectively they're incredibly cute. And I got to move this over, but I'm too lazy right now, and it's gonna unstick itself anyways. But here is my Pentagon collection. my favorite collection that I have, if I do say so myself. It's so incredibly personal to me, and I've spent a lot of time curating it to the way that I like. And here are my large inclusions back here, actually, in case you're curious. I do have 2 of these Yanans. I do want to see if I can find the regular Yowan or regular like Shinwan one, but not a lot of Yanan collectors these days, understandably. Even bigger large inclusions, and I actually wonder now, like, will Pentagon still do a season's greetings? Like, the only ones who are left are Shinwan, Jinho, and Hui. Are 3 members enough to do season's greetings? Like, if I held a season's greetings group order, will people join it? Hold on. Oh. I don't know. But if I do host another season's greetings group order, I know not to order directly from the site and have them send to a Korean address instead, because, oh my god, shipping was so expensive. Why do I have 2 Woodstock posters? That's fine. And I have somehow talked for almost 40 minutes straight, and I've also spent a lot of time talking at work today, so I am gutted. Either way, yay, here's my beautiful, if I do say so myself, my perfect Pentagon collection. Here is my 127 collection with the whack photocard pages. I really might swap these all back to being the Ultra Pro Platinum, because I don't like how flimsy these are. But like I mentioned, I don't plan on adding to this collection, and if I do, it's at most just going to be to fill up these 5 pages or 5 slots, so I don't really have to worry about needing to add to this. But this is my 1-inch binder. Hopefully it stays 1 inch and it stays this skinny and tiny. But I actually can't wait to see how this page is going to look. Like, Fire Truck, Cherry Bomb. 2 of the best eras, even though I don't engage with the content from then. And like, Empathy, Regular, Irregular, Empathy, Regular, Irregular, Regulate, and then Superhuman. This one, couldn't fit on another page. But yes, that's everything. I have a headache now because it's dark outside and I'm tired. But thanks for sticking this out and for listening to me ramble. I have no idea how I'm going to title this, because I can't say, oh, Rabid Universe complains for 40 minutes long, even though that's basically what happened here. And let me flip through this one too. Maybe this will just be like a chat with me thing, even though this wasn't all that exciting, but at least you get to see my true thoughts. I got my flimsy pages here in my Golden Child collection. I'm not collecting their recent era. I really like their title track. I don't have it in me to support them financially now. But if I did decide to collect, I want to do 3 pre-order benefits. So a tag, Jaehyun, Juchan, and then 2 of their album cards each from only 1 version, because I don't like the photo book for the other version. But I don't think that's going to happen. But if that does happen, I'm just going to buy off of Naokyo instead of buying from a Western seller, because Western sellers can be expensive. That is everything from me today. If you hit this point, let me know. I'll give you a discount if you ever buy from me. But in all seriousness, thank you for listening, and I hope you stay tuned for my next few videos.